What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. We are on episode 12, I believe. If I get the number wrong, you'll see it edited right here on the screen. But I believe we're on episode 12. So, getting today started. It's going to be a heavy press session, heavy benching. I'm drinking my pre-workout right now in the car, eating a little snack before I go in. It's pretty cold out here these past couple days. So, I'm just kind of kicking it beforehand before I go in because I like to personally be fueled up and ready to go whenever I go lift. You know what I mean? Something I need to make a habit of is looking right here. I happen to look at myself when I talk, and I don't want to keep doing that. I got to get used to filming like this again. But anyway, it's been a few days since I last put out the vlog. Things have been good. I just took a couple rest days. I had to refuel my body, get better hydration, better sleep, all that good stuff. And I feel really good today. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a heavy bench session, like I said. Well, at least heavy for me. I know this is YouTube, and I'm not going to be here talking about heavy bench and you put me in the category of like a 400-pound bencher. I'm not there yet. I'll get there one day. But right now, I'm just trying to get my 3 plates going. You know what I mean? So just trying to get that going. So you're going to probably see 275 move tonight for sure. And we'll just see where it goes from there. But I just wanted to say a couple things before I start too, just to make this a little more personal, because I'm always just kind of ranting about the lifts I do and just the numbers and the basic stuff like that. I'm not really humanized yet. You know what I mean? Kind of get robotic when I do this stuff, and I don't want to always be that way. So I want to talk about I got asked the other day, I got asked on the comments, how do I deal with you know, the demons of life and basically just, how life can be rough on all of us in a sense. It's not my bad. I had to check the mic. I had to make sure everything was good on the mic. But no, everything's tough, you know what I mean? It's not an easy life, and even if you have an easy life, that doesn't mean it's easy. You could always have your personal problems up here or out there in the circumstances of the world that you don't speak of. It doesn't matter what it is, you know what I mean? And I really just told this kid, I just told this person, like, it really comes down to it. The biggest answer I could give you and the best answer I could give you from my own perspective, and everybody will perceive what I'm about to say different from their own lives based on their own, you know, situations and the things that they do. But you got to find purpose. Purpose within yourself will bring a hell of a lot more than you even realize. When you get up every morning and you got to think to yourself, what am I worth, or what am I doing, or what's going on? Like, it sucks. It genuinely sucks. I've been there. I've been there where, I had everything stable, everything was going good, and, relationships ended, things went downhill. I tried and kept my shit together for as long as I could, but at one point, I had nothing. I was doing it all myself and just trying to scrape by and get by, and the one thing that always brought me purpose was my own self. I found purpose within myself to basically just build up again. You know what I mean? When that moment came, and when those moments come when I felt like there was nothing and I really had nowhere to turn, not in the sense of help, but in the sense of like, who am I and what am I here for, and why do I continue to push forward? What am I pushing forward for? You know what I mean? Those type of questions. I just had to look at myself, because at the end of the day, you're a never ending project, which is why I love this type of gym content, which is why I wanted to start doing it as well, because we are all never ending projects. I think we have this weird, like, I don't, it's not really a bad thing, but we're just so recycled. Well, I guess it is a bad thing depending on how you look at it, but we're so recycled in doing the same thing over and over and over again, to where we have expectations and we have certain outcomes and we have certain goals that we expect and put on each other 24/7, and everybody to kind of repeat the same life cycle in a sense. But when you're able to find a purpose within yourself and build a project within yourself, you kind of find that more purpose will come and more outlets will open, not literally, but mentally, to where you decide, you know what, I don't want this normal shit. I don't want to live just like that. I don't want to do the same thing that this man did, or the same thing this woman did, or I don't want to go down that same route. You know what I mean? And so we're a never ending project. And I feel like as people, we get into this habit and this habit, this habit and this habitual thing, to where we hit accomplishments and we hit goals and then we get comfortable again. You know what I mean? When in reality, even if we have everything going good for us, we have all the marbles lined up, everything's good to go, whatever saying you want to put in there. Even when everything's going good, you could look back at yourself and then look at yourself as a project and go, well, what am I missing? If I'm not missing anything to my wealth, my mental health, or anything that's, positive, what else can I change or what else can I do to bring me more of those three things that I listed? You know what I mean? That'll add to not only my wealth, mental health, and positivity. What can I add to it? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people can't add to it and get this, like, I don't want to say miserable because it's not always miserable, but it's this like jaded state of looking at others that are able to be capable with their bodies and able to actually make more effort to be even more capable with their bodies and their mentality, that they almost get jealous and bitter toward people that way. And it's messed up because anybody can be in that position. Granted, there's situations where, yeah, maybe we should be blessed that maybe I have my legs, or maybe I'm blessed to walk, or blessed to, have both limbs or all limbs. Like, there's those situations, but those are extreme. And even those people will have kind of the same outlook on what I'm trying to say. You want to perceive life in a happier sense and be grateful for the things that you can do and push forward on and continue to build on as a never ending project, even if you have limitations. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's helpful to not only strive for higher goals and just higher things in general, but also humble yourself from time to time and realize that you're human. We're not all perfect. We're not all what you see on social media and, the internet. Like, not everybody's living this top tier grand life. Like, there's a lot of us that are in real ass situations, real boats where we're trying to stay floating and trying to stay swimming and trying to get to where we're going. You know what I mean? There's a lot of us that are not just easily trekking there and getting there one shot. It doesn't work that way for everybody. This world's not equal in that sense. We're equal in the sense of the freedom that we have and able to strive for more depending on where you're at. I'm not going to speak for everybody because that's not my place to speak on. But when it comes down to it, if you're out here where we could at least decently try to make something of ourselves, even with all the messed up stuff going around, what else can you do? You got to take control of the things that you're in control of. You know what I mean? Or at least the things that you see around you that you could at least control. So I don't know what you'll get out of my whole little rant there, but the biggest thing I'm going to get out of it from what I'm hearing and from what I'm trying to get across and from what I'm trying to say is just be grateful and just look at yourself as a never ending project, because it'll make you more grateful for the goals that you'll hit working on that never ending project, if that makes any sense. Cheers to that. Black cherry vanilla is delicious. This Gorilla Mine is fire. From what I hear, they're going to have it in gas stations and stuff like that soon too. I'm not trying to stay up all freaking night, so that's why I'm having one of these instead of my crazy powder prees. But hopefully you get something positive out of what I said before I go into this heavy session. Right now, I'm going to drink the rest of this, eat a little bit of snacks, and just get it in tonight. I don't know if I'm going to post my whole entire session with, triceps and shoulder work and chest work. I don't know if I'm going to do all that. I might just post the heavy lifts. I might do some log press. I need to see how I feel right now. In my rear delt. My rear delt's kind of fucking with me a little bit, but it doesn't really fuck with me on bench. But on overhead pressing, it's a little bit iffy right now, so we'll see what I do on log, if I do log. I've been really missing the log press, but that's why I took a little break back from it, because don't get me wrong, it's not like an injury, but a little bit of strain with super heavy pushing, sometimes it doesn't go good, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to go that route. That's one thing. I may lift crazy sometimes, but I do listen to my body and I pay attention and actually take things safe and precautiously. But hopefully you guys like the session. I really like how these vlogs have been going. We're gaining more traction from what I see. My shorts have been getting more traction. And yeah, dude, let's just keep this going. It's been a great month so far. The progress is going along. I'm thinking one more month of just pure bulking and pure strength, and I'm probably going to start cutting soon because I want to see just how much muscle I put on from last year. Like, I could see it still, but I'm still a little thick. You know what I mean? I'm not shredded. You can't see my fucking six pack and vascularity through my chest and shit. Like, I'm not one of those people. I never really have been. But when it comes right down to it, I wouldn't mind seeing that from time to time. It's what I work for. It's what I put in the work for. Doesn't hurt to see it. You know what I mean? But for now, you could bet we're still going to keep building that strength, and we're still going to keep going hard on the weights. Keep going hard on chasing numbers because I enjoy this part of my life right now. One thing I want to say too before I cut away, this is just for me personally and anybody that may somehow relate to it. It feels really good to be an individual that has learned how to do all this stuff through just a couple good mentors and just watching, internet videos pretty much. Because at the end of the day, like, as crazy as it seems to sound amongst the world when I tell people this, I don't know if it's just the people I'm talking to or if it's the demographic that I happen to reach when I do reach out online about these things, but I in school, like school, literally from in the school days where everybody's like, oh, I remember doing that in the gym. I remember being in the weight room in the gym in school and this and that. Dude, I skipped school all the time. I was a constant ditcher. I was a little shithead in school, dude. I was never in there. I wasn't involved in sports. I played a half a freaking season of football. And after that, I dipped to literally make music and party with my friends and drink and do all kinds of other bullshit that I was doing in my young adolescent life. So being in the gym at the age I am now is fun as hell for me, and I'm willing to chase numbers being as fun as it is for me, because even though life has given me tons of injuries and tons of things along the way throughout those years of being negligent to my body, I have the opportunity now to build on the strength that I never built. So why would I not take advantage of that? And one thing I realized when it comes to being my age and watching people my age lift and seeing how they react to how I lift is they've all been down the injury route and they've all peaked already. So they throw me shade about it a lot of times. And I think that's just messed up, because you got to consider not everybody lived your life. Not everybody lived the life of, oh, yep, I went to school every day. I went to school and went to the weight room, with my PE teacher and gym teacher and my football coach, my this and that coach. Not everybody freaking lived that life. Some of us didn't live that life. So the ones that didn't and embrace it later, don't ever throw shade their way, because we're enjoying it. And guess what? We get to enjoy it even more, because this day and age, there's a lot of knowledge. Age don't keep you from reaching your limits. Technically. Sometimes. Don't take it too literal. But in this sense, we're going to push some boundaries and we're going to push some limits, and I'm going to take advantage of feeling strong for once in my freaking life. Hope you guys enjoy the blah, blah, blah. Hope you guys enjoy the vlog. This is starting to kick in.
We're wrapping up today's session. It's been nothing but a bench, chest, and tricep session. I thought about it and like I feel good. I could do log press, but I might as well save it for my next overhead push day. That way I could actually put some effort into it, put some strength into it, and try to maybe even hit a new PR. You know what I mean? Because that's usually what I like to do when I do log press. But today's been a good one. I'm not going to show the last of the exercise. It's just going to be some freaking tricep push downs and then a little bit of rows just to hit my upper back and hit my rear delts. But I just wanted to say I'm feeling way better on bench now. All the tricep work is working for sure. That's the first time I think ever that 275 has felt stable like that. Because I mean, you can see on the video it moved kind of slow, but in terms of it being stable in my hands and not feeling shaky or like even really too ramped up to do it, that was the first time ever that it was just like, all right, let's get it done, and then got it done, and then just moved on. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope. So I'm not going to put a date on it, you know what I mean? But that 315 bench is coming for sure. And I just got to keep it up. I just got to keep grinding and keep that consistency up, working on my tiny little triceps. And I only say tiny because my arms are big. I have long ass arms. I have to fill out a lot of space there. So in my eyes and physically when you look at it, they're kind of small. So it would help a lot to get those bigger, to hit some bigger bench numbers, because I don't want to keep having a poverty bench for the foreseeable future. That is not in my goals this year at all. So anyway, episode 12 is done. I'm going to go finish up this routine and maybe record a short, or I might just record the short tomorrow. We'll see what happens, because I got legs tomorrow. And I was thinking about training some grip training to end the day, but since I'm hitting deadlifts tomorrow, I think I'm just going to save it. I'm just going to save it. You know, actually, I lied. Tomorrow's Zercher squats. I lied. Maybe I will do some grip work to end the day. But anyway, we'll see you tomorrow on tomorrow's vlog. I'm going to hit some legs. You're going to see some Zercher squats because I've been dying to do some of those. They're my favorite. So tomorrow's going to be dope. Tomorrow's going to be a really good session. I look forward to recording that one. So we'll see you on the next one.